Okay, so thanks for allowing me to look over this. I definitely see where I can help out here. And just for the record, so I'm doing the performance here for you, but I also do local SEO and WordPress security stuff. So if you want a WordPress security audit, let me know. We definitely can do that too. So here we go. So your website, if we go to it, and if you you can just respond, or you can just go to my website, norzer.me. Anyway, let's go to the website and let's see how long it takes to load. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 so about 4 seconds, maybe a little over 4 seconds. It looks good, but as you get into the waterfall chart, if you go to web page test, this is called a synthetic test, right? Like simulates load and determine. You can kind of see what's going on. So if you click into the waterfall chart, your largest contentful paint, which has to do with things loading on the screen, is yellow. These are called the Google Core Web Vitals. This is what Google determines, uses to determine if your website's loading fast or not. So you're yellow there. It's not bad. Layout shift, I guess is it content layout shift or contextual layout shift? I never can remember. Cumulative layout shift. It just popped up there. So if this is things shifting and loading on screen, yours does pretty good. And then total blocking time, scripts blocking other scripts, you're good there. So you can see here. Obviously, it didn't take 60 seconds to load because this isn't like a real human being, but it simulates that it took 60 seconds to load. And this is testing with a low-end, I believe, a low-end desktop or a high-end phone and on a slow broadband connection. So it's kind of simulating what a phone would see. And the reason, an average website has about 100 requests. You have 69, so that's good, and I'm going to explain that a little more. And again, the average website is 3 megs. Your website is 35 megs. So what is that, about 10 times larger than it should be? And there's just only so much you can optimize if you're bringing a lot of data down to a website. So if you look at the waterfall chart, these are all things that are loading on your website. So this piece of CSS took under 1/10 of a second. See this little short line? These are right here. These lines are good. Short line, short line. Short line, right? All these little lines are good. This piece of CSS took about 1/10 of a second. These short little lines are really good. It's starting to get bigger here, and that's because it's images. The problem you have is about 80% of the people that contact me that have this problem with the same issues. So first of all, for this image alone is 67K. The first problem is you're using PNGs. This should be WebP. You have WebP on a couple images. I thought, no, you don't. Okay, so JPEG's good, but yeah, I would use WebP. So let's go to the first one that takes a very long. So it thinks this one's taking 29 seconds to load, which it isn't. And then on top of this image optimization, I definitely would put in an image optimization plugin. I don't think you have it. If you do, when you go to page source, a lot of times and I could look other ways to get this, but I'm just going to do this real quick. If you had WP Rocket or something being used, it would put a little comment here at the end. You don't have that. So that's something I definitely would do. The other big thing is going to be optimizing these images. So if we look at this image, courthouse black and white blue, so it's a PNG file. So keep in mind, this image is 11 megs. So this image alone is about almost 4 times as big as the average website. So let's open. So this is how I optimize it. So I go to paint.net. So it's not paint, it's paint.net. First thing I would do is resize it to the appropriate size. Like right now it's 4,200 pixels. Nobody's gonna look at it that big. So this would probably be. We'd have to look on your website where it is. But let's just say it's 1,500. Even that's probably too big. So we're gonna make it smaller, and then we're going to save it as WebP. Let's change this to WebP. Now for SEO purposes, I would name it something more friendly. You're not really selling this, so, but you know, let's say this is a Boston courthouse. What you're in the UK, so that's not what it is, but let's just say that's what it was. Now, if you can see, after we've changed it to WebP, and it still looks to be good quality. If you compared this to this, it's about the same. And this is at 26% quality, so if we kept the image quality 100, oh, it's going to freeze. Okay, it didn't. They fixed the bug. At 70% quality, it's now 37K, down from, what was it, 12 megs? So I can't even do the math. That's like, what, 10,000 times the smaller, whatever the math is. I mean, it's minuscule. And most times I can get things down to about 20 to 30% quality. And if you go to 0 quality, you'll see how it gets real bad. But as you get a little bit better, 20, 25%, 30%, 18K. So we can get that image down to 18K. Now, even if we didn't change the dimensions of it, so it's still at 4,200. I just want to show you how big of a difference WebP makes. Just call it that for now. And it's computing up here. So you can see just by changing from PNG to WebP, this is the same exact quality. So it's going to look kind of blurry because you're zoomed way in. But if you go out, you can see it looks about the same. At 26% quality, the size is now down to 98K. So down from 12 megs to 98K. So do the math there. So that's what, 120 times, something like that. Smaller. So that's the first thing that's obvious. The next thing is the getting an optimization plugin working. And here's another image. Let's see what else we got going on down here. Trustpilot stuff. Wonder why. I'm not sure why these are blue. I'd have to look into that. But you can see the obvious slowdowns. And of course, videos are just real big. So this video, we'd want to trim it and optimize it. There's always a balance between having nice things on your website and it loading quickly. There's just a balance to it. Now it loads pretty quick on my desktop, but where you're gonna start to see a big slowdown is when people access it from a mobile phone, especially on slower connections and especially on budget mobile phones. Things start to get really slow, and then if the website takes too long to load, people abandon it, click the back button. That's really going to hurt you from SEO purposes because Google would make sense doesn't want to send people to websites that they click the back button on. So yeah, so that's what's going on. So that's what I would look at. I definitely can help here. And let me know what you want to do. See ya.